Good morning, kids. Today we're checking out a brand new video from Josh Scorcher about the top 10 Brawler Bosses. Let's hop in and see who can throw the fist the best.
Power sets we've covered,
Yeah, that was kind
none
of okay.
are more simple, yet effective, than the Brawler. With nothing but their limbs, they're able to keep you on your toes, and sometimes knock your lights out with their toes. Ideally, the fight should have both the player and the boss as brawlers. That way it feels more even. And to keep this list from being too redundant, we're gonna try to keep the amount of fighting game bosses to a minimum.
So, when are you
True.
going to keep the RPG bosses to a minimum?
That's...
Oh, here we go. I never get sick of this intro. It's always epic. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go.
Duh.
Oop, hold on. Before we get into it, we have an ad. Okay, we're back with number 10.
Does modern God of War count as an RPG? I think it's a gray area. I've been playing through Ragnarok,
Very
and
gray.
I think I'm overall happy with how the series has evolved, from the old Greek mythology roots to the, well, Old Norse mythology roots. Wonder if they're going to do Japanese mythology next. Or dare I say, Zoroastrianism. So,
Ooh,
when you're
that would
coming
be
up with the
cool.
main bad guy of your first Norse game, you need a big bad god. It's to assume for heavy hitters like Odin or Thor. Guess they're doing something different with Loki. How about another Odin son? Maybe Balder? No, not that one. But
Oh.
wait, isn't he the god of light and considered the favorite child of all the gods? Nah, let's make him
Oh.
a jerk and spend his whole time trying to catch Kratos and Atreus. This is
That's
God of
bold.
War. All gods need to be
Okay.
evil.
With your wife and child dead, nothing.
Okay, oh no, hold on. That was just Ares being a douche. This guy was like, you must have no mortal attachment so that you can become the best fighter in my name. He's literally a douche.
Throughout God of War 4, yes, it's 4, Balder acts as a recurring threat as he tracks the father and son duo who are trying to find the way to Jotunheim, realm of the giants. He is both the game's first and final boss,
highest
as the
mountain
series is known for making the first boss the best in most cases. Balder is a skilled fist fighter capable of dashing around the field and hitting you with strong blows that even Kratos can't fully block. He can enhance his strikes by imbuing them with ice and later fire, making him a pretty capable cryomancer too. The fight at the beginning of the
Very
game is
awesome.
pretty tough, but it's all for naught as Balder can't be killed normally. It isn't until the final fight where he's struck with mistletoe that he can finally be harmed. In
And
addition to
feel
dealing with Balder's
pain.
barrage of attacks, you also have to deal with Freya's interruptions as she tries to stop you from hurting him. Whether it's Freya summoning a giant, you countering with frickin' Jormungandr, or just
Not summoning a giant puppeting his dead body. Because as anyone can tell you about the game, that giant's been dead for about, what was it Freya said? 500 years? No, Mimir said that. And yeah, he said that giant's been dead for about 500 years. So yeah, nothing's being summoned. He's just puppeting the limbs.
punching the ever-loving crap out of Balder. It's a really fun fight. It does have minus points for not having anything super creative in the brawler side of things, and Balder himself isn't a sole brawler, but doesn't detract from how cool of a fight this is.
It is
You
still
want to
epic.
hear something funny? Boom!
Oh, come on! Did they actually do that?
Live Alive has nearly every type of boss fight you could think of. Ranged, avian, prehistoric, really creepy monsters.
What the
But
fuck
when
am I
looking
looking
for
at?
brawler bosses, you know we've got to look at the Imperial China chapter. The last time we talked about this was in Top 10 Mentors when we discussed the Earthen Heart Shifu. Let's go over the main villain, shall we? Odi-Wan Lee is one of the most dangerous variations of Odio, since he'll actually go after your main party members and kill them off. Save the
Oh,
one you
God.
trained the most. The entire premise of the Imperial China chapter revolves around Kung Fu fighting!
Yeah!
And utilizing it to become stronger for the sake of protecting others. But Odi-Wan Lee is the antithesis to this, mastering Kung Fu fighting simply as a symbol of pride. As the final boss of the chapter, he's pretty strong. It's also the moment where you get to use the Shifu's signature move, Heaven's Peak Descent, which he passed down to your chosen student. In the original version, it's a massive lifesaver if you use it at the right time. Giant as he may be, when you're fighting him, your Shifu sees...
Damn. Oh, that's epic. Well, not entirely, but still. Oh, he goes right into the gong! Yeah! Okay, we'll be right back. And we're back.
You
Not bad.
are so easy.
What
I don't
the?
have to try hard with you at all.
So yeah, Obi-Wan Lee's fight may be
Okay.
standard RPG fare, but one of the best parts of it is getting to utilize the strongest move taught by the Shifu to your chosen student. It's also nice to see more games utilize martial arts for a melee boss. Can't think of a better way to avenge your comrades by using all the skills your master taught you to take this form of Odio down. With Kung Fu Fighting!
Damn it, you promised us!
I love threes.
Alright, on to number 8.
How about a kiss from your little brother? Or better yet, how about a kiss from this?
Nice to have a supportive family, isn't it?
Virgil and Dante, the pinnacle of brotherly love. Opposing personalities and opposing worldviews, they only got one thing in common. They like to roughhouse. At this point, they're not in it to kill it, just in it to show who's boss. Their ongoing back and forths are undeniably one of the best parts of the Devil May Cry series, coupled with all the ways we see them roughhouse. For this list, one duel in particular comes to mind. Mission 13 for Devil May Cry 3, we find ourselves in the sacrificial chamber. Of course, our favorite sparring partner is already there, aiming to open the door to the demon world. Once again, it's time for a little sibling quality time. Usually there's scrapes of all the bros duking out with blades crossed, but here, the
Have you noticed how the blades are actually different for them? Like, Virgil here actually has the Asian katana, while Dante has the European broadsword. It's actually kind of interesting.
gloves are
I
coming
like it.
on.
That's so hilarious.
A few missions back, we found a demonic gatekeeper named Beowulf. Spoiler alert, we get away from him, and then Virgil finds him. Sucks for him. Virgil uses the fallen beast's soul to fashion himself a fancy pair of gloves and greaves. Not only are they metal as hell, they're pretty dang tough, and Virgil decides to share them with his dear brother by trying to punch his lights out. He pelts us with a flurry of punches and sends himself into the air before dropping a heavy axe kick on you. Occasionally, he breaks out the blade as usual for some fancy swordplay. Unfortunately, our routine brotherly dispute has to be cut short by the plot. Dang it, story progression! Now, I love this. I really do. The fight itself is cool and intense. Virgil alternating between fisticuffs and swordplay means we gotta keep on our tones with our own combat style. However, can't put this scrap any higher, mostly because it isn't fully a brawl with Virgil still using his sword half the time. That, plus the fight isn't difficult after a while. His combos do hurt. Oh, how they hurt. But they mostly just go in one direction, so they're easy to dodge once you got the pattern recognition down. But we still get another fun showdown between two of the best rivals in gaming. Plus, it's cool seeing Virgil being more versatile in a fight.
True, even I have to admit that. On to number 7.
Okay, fine. We can have one fighting game boss on here, but holy moly, there are so many to choose from. Ryu versus Akuma, Terry versus Geese,
Classic.
Akira versus...
Classic.
I actually don't know who the main villain of the Virtua Fighter is. Probably should fix that.
What the?
Anywho, my choice is easily the
Nice.
final battle of Tekken 8, which did come out recently, so there will be spoilers here. You have been warned.
Go ahead.
Anyways, it's Jin versus Kazuya. After 30 years of the Mishimas punching each other and dropping each other into volcanoes, we finally had the final battle between father and son. Let me set the stage.
About damn
Kazuya
time.
was successful in killing Heihachi and taking over the Mishima Zaibatsu. He then set the world on fire again to obtain total control and to complete his sneaker collection. Yes, that last part is also true. Look at his arcade ending.
Oh my god, that's so many shit.
Now it's up to Jin and friends to set aside their differences, band together, and stop Kazuya from getting the last limited edition Puma cleats from Messi. Also to stop him from absorbing the original devil Azazel
So
and
many
taking
shoes.
over the world. Of course, that's important too. In Tekken 8's finale, Jin finally comes to term with his devil form and stops Kazuya from killing Xiao Yu and Lars. This sets up the battle between Devil Jin and True Demon Kazuya. Despite Jin's best efforts, he isn't doing so well. Hearing advice from his deceased mother, Jin realizes his bloodline could purify evil and takes the form of an angel.
Oh, that I like.
Angel Jin and Devil Kazuya duke it out on a falling meteor in space, fighting evenly matched.
Sweet.
Eventually, the clash of powers causes Jin's angel form to purify the Devil Gene out of both of them, and the two fall towards Earth. The two recover in the middle of a typhoon with both of their devils gone. With that, and just
So
father and
nothing
son
but
left, they do
humans
one
now.
last fight to decide their fates. Kazuya fights with all of the skills and strategies he's learned over the years. Jin, accepting his lineage, fights with both the Mishima and Kazuma styles to overcome his father. It's an insane fight that finally puts to rest the 30-year rivalry that we have seen between this family. The fight could end in either Kazuya or Jin's defeat. You hope to win as Jin and defeat Kazuya, but diehard fans know what Kazuya's gone through. It's emotional, action-packed, and shows two brawlers going head-to-head. What more can you want?
Oh, dude, that is cool. From devil to angel
Well,
to
it's the year of the
human.
dragon. Anyone feel like a dragon today? Get it? Yeah, I'm disappointed too. We've talked about Kiryu and his fight in Yakuza 7 a couple of times by now, and honestly, it's not going away anytime soon. You spend 7-ish games playing with the same pro tag, and when you move on to a new pro tag, you gonna fight him in a no-holds-barred match?
Oh, well, okay.
Primo! At this point in Like a Dragon, Ichiban is not in a good mood. His mentor was killed after finally reconciling, and it was his mentor's son who ordered the hit. Our guy is trying to balance grief for his
Dude.
mother and trying to stop his killer from gaining power. Just as Ichiban was about to kill someone out of frustration, he was stopped by Kiryu. Kiryu taunts Ichiban for his actions, but he don't want to hear it. At least until Kiryu said he had info relating to the guy Ichi was looking for. And she confronts him that night looking for said info, but Dragon ain't giving it away for free. Kiryu might not be much of
Gotta
a
kick my ass.
Dragon Quest fan as Ichi is, but he's played enough games to know what a Dragon Guardian is. He's the boss in Ichi's way, and he's not giving up without a fight. Kiryu will fight you with the 4 styles he's developed over the series. Balanced Brawler style, the fast-paced Rush style, the wide-hitting Beast style,
Ooh.
and his signature Dragon of Dojima style. As you
That
knock
is
out his
kinda
HP,
cool.
he'll switch between the different styles, changing his stats and healing any status effects he's been inflicted. Each style uses different moves that he's used throughout the series. Your best bet is to bring blunt resistance and probably have a female or two on your team as he won't attack them. It's a tough fight, but
Hey.
it's Kiryu. What did you expect? After the fight, you learn Kiryu
No, I gotta respect the boss that won't attack women. And because all it is just respectable. You should never punch a woman unless they strike first.
provoked Ichi to calm him down. Counterintuitive, but okay. He has been in the same position as Ichi a dozen times, yeah, so he acts as a barrier for Ichi to take out his anger. It's a passing of the torch moment, leading to a developing friendship between the two that's expanded upon in Infinite Wealth, which
Ah,
we
love it.
will probably talk about one day.
Well, on to number 1. Halfway done.
I talk about Asura's Wrath a lot on this channel. Kind of surprising I never touched on the Deuteragonist. Let's fix that.
What?
Yasha is a demigod and a member of the 7 deities led by Deus. He's also Asura's brother-in-law, so there's a bit of a familial bond in their duties.
Okay, that
well,
explains that.
that is until Deus decided to ruin everything, killed his sister, and kidnapped his niece to power some Goma-killing machine. Yasha's put in an awkward position where he has to shut off his emotion and believe that Deus's plans are for the greater good. This inevitably puts him at odds against Asura, who's understandably unappreciative of Yasha's Camus attitude. You get introduced to Yasha's fighting style, being a speedy acrobat with karate chops and jump kicks
Oh,
akin
God,
to
his
slicing
arms, I
with a
just
sword.
realized.
Though, admittedly, Asura is still the star of the show here, considering he showed up to Yasha with no arms. He can still land a good headbutt or two. Afterwards, you
Epic.
don't really get to fight Yasha again for a while, because he goes on his own mission of self-realization. Soon enough, he comes to terms that Deus' mission might have been a bad idea.
That's right, he can be taught.
He reconciles with Asura after defeating his berserk form, and they both team up once again to give Deus and Fleet Trigoma a good smackdown. But it didn't end there because of course it doesn't. Chakravartin defeats Asura, and Yasha is forced to help him retreat. This
Excellent.
is where Yasha's redemption comes full circle. He continues to protect Asura from the remaining Goma until he's able to transfer to him his own mantra core. Ultimately, he
Oh,
sacrificed
damn.
all he had left so Asura could keep fighting. Finally, Asura wakes up and Yasha tests him with one final duel. His attacks are much more versatile now, with a good mix of dashing, teleportation, and beam cutters coming out of his karate chops.
Okay,
Adding
that
more
is
to the
kinda cool.
cinematic value, the fight is interjected with a flashback. And, surprise, surprise, it's also a boss fight. Asura and Yasha reminisce about trading blows while falling from the sky, all the while reminding themselves of the mutual bond that keeps them fighting. Back to present, Yasha is finally on his last legs. He channels all of his remaining mantra to extend his array of beam cutters, spin kicks, and a whirlwind punch. A good one this time, so you don't have a window to fall off and instantly die here. Eat your heart out, Jasper. Finally, the two trade one final flurry of kicks and punches, until all there is left is the finishing blow. We waited for the final trigger to come, but then it stopped.
Wait,
Asura finds out what Yasha did, returns the favor with one last fist bump. The final fight against Yasha is an incredible mix of drama and spectacle. Yasha proved himself a brawler on par with Asura throughout the game, and he ends his legacy with not only a battle that keeps Asura on his toes, but a reminder that from now on, you'll always be on his side. Though I will admit, as awesome as he is, making him squeal mid-sentence never fails to make me laugh.
Decide what.
Now, we're on to number 4.
No More Heroes has you fight your way through each member of the United Assassins Association, each one crazier than the last. This perfectly sets the stage for the number 1 fight.
Yo, very crazy.
Welcome to my castle.
Upon meeting Darkstar, you find out that he's the seemingly murdered father of Travis, who looks absolutely nothing like him. Then Jean, your long-lost ex-girlfriend, only mentioned in the manual, kills him.
What a twist!
Yeah, it turns out she killed your parents and was your half-sister the whole time. Ew.
Oh my god.
That and some other stuff, which I'm pretty sure we're not allowed to talk about without getting demonetized.
You know that manga called Miyuki?
Skip.
Well, it's like that.
All things considered, this is one of the less insane plots in a Suda 51 game. Despite not having a weapon or any crazy powers, Jean is still an incredibly formidable opponent. She's super fast and can easily dodge most of your attacks. The most reliable way to damage her is with charge attacks, but those require a ton of your katana's battery life.
Editor here, just wanted to add that there's another way to consistently deal damage to Jean. After she completes an attack, she'll be vulnerable for approximately 1 second. So if you're quick enough, you can get at least 1 or 2 hits in, or a full combo if you know which attacks have the longest cooldown. However, this strategy requires a lot of precision, quick reaction timing, and above all, patience. And if you feel as though you're not confident enough to handle any of that, then going for big damage like Josh said would be a preferable alternative. Also, don't fall for the stagger animation, it is a massive lie. Anyway, back to the video.
As the fight goes on, Jean will actually use Darkstar's Horse Saber to shrink the arena, making her that much harder to dodge. The fight seemingly ends with Travis's defeat, only for Shinobu to swoop in and save you at the last minute. Oh, and if you didn't fulfill the requirements for the true ending, she's actually the final boss.
Why would you bring up something like that at the very last minute?
Oh, okay. Sucks to suck, I guess. Move on to number 3. The Bronze Medal of the Fist? Nope, that's an ad, not bronze. And we're back. So, who gets the bronze knuckles? Mike Tyson? No, that's Sandman.
Yep. Can't do a list about brawlers who don't have a boss from the game where all you do is punch people. Punch-Out has a cavalcade of boxers with their own unique designs, personalities, and fighting style. It's amplified further in Punch-Out Wii, where the personalities are more in your face and Donkey Kong is here for some reason. Frankly, not all of these fighters fight fair, and those who do don't stand out as well as the others. And then there's Mr. Sandman.
One-shotting all of them.
Mr. Sandman has appeared in every console Punch-Out title up to this point, alongside Ball Bull and Super Macho Man. Huh, so that makes them the Triforce of the series. Super Macho Man is usually the one ranked highest of the 3, although with how gimmicky and exploitable he is, it's harder to take him seriously than it is to beat him. So, makes sense Punch-Out Wii will return to its roots of the arcade and Japanese versions by featuring Sandman as the world champion and final boss. As his name implies, Mr. Sandman is hell-bent on putting you to sleep. His punches are fast and painful, and it's even more panic-inducing if you're not prepared to predict his fake-outs. He's the only fighter who always blocks his head when you stun him, so you have to be prepared to alternate between high and low jabs to sufficiently damage him. And then there's the Dreamland Express, 3 furious uppercuts nigh guaranteed to instant KO you. This attack alone makes Sandman a worthy champion. No tricks or gimmicks behind it. Just Sandman scarring the crap out of you with his deadly punches. And that's not even the high point. In Title Defense, Sandman brings a whole new style of boxing.
Wait, what happened to him?
The Tyson Wink. In a split second, He will throw lightning-fast punches and you can only dodge it by following the direction of his wink. And it all comes together in the final knockout round. He goes on an absolute rampage with those wink punches until you tire him out and finish him off with a good slug to the jaw. While Ball Bull and Macho Man rely on gimmicks to stay afloat, Sandman stands firm with sheer strength, agility, and wit alone. This is a challenging and rewarding fight if you can find the hidden counters and knock him out in record time. It's a major risk to take, but if it means you get to surpass this behemoth of a man, boy, is it worth it.
He owns the long knuckles. Now he gets the silver knuckles.
Mad World. A bizarre little art project that teeters the lines between hilariously over the top and gruesomely violent. All with a comic book-like aesthetic. How over the top can it be? Just look at the final boss, the Black Baron. All the charm of a stereotypical pimp with bling to match. He acts as the MC for Death Watch, introducing and demonstrating the bloodbath challenges throughout the tournament. He also turns out to be the current champion. I can't say I'm surprised, considering he's basically immortal. Seriously, every time he introduces a challenge, he gets injured or mauled, but the next challenge, he's like...
Got better.
So, in a way, him being King of the Hill doesn't seem that shocking. What is shocking is how he backs his royal status up. Aw, you brought a chainsaw to the fight. That's adorable. Baron don't need no chainsaw. He only got his fists, his feet, and his, lady acquaintances. He's a hard-hitting close combat master. In his first phase, he's more suave and laid back, as demonstrated with his first boss theme.
I just kept hearing your name too much, and that's it. Now I just came to touch your backbone with a boot. I came to the tooth. It don't take much, now ain't that the truth? My boo got a thing for you. She really likes money, but the pain would do. He can't hang you a featherweight. I can't believe that you made it this far. It'll never take a lot of work to make another take. I strike first, don't hesitate to populate the murder rate. You just sealed your fate on the holidays, that'll be one less play.
If you make it past the first power struggle, Baron ain't playing around no more. Music kicks up and his smooth swagger is replaced with seething rage. He starts fighting with a much stronger kick and uppercut that can send you flying out of the ring. Oh, if you get knocked out of the ring, his lady friends will start beating you to a bloody pulp. Even a black hole move that can insta-kill you. If by some miracle you survive that, you just gotta trade blows with him in one last power struggle. Make it through in one piece and... well, let's just say Jack gets to practice his backswing.
All right, we'll call it a draw.
How could I not fit this on the list? Black Baron's brawl is insane. He puts his whole body into his fighting style, and the way the music in each phase reflects his mood was perfect. It's a legitimate death match, but it feels so satisfying to topple the king. Especially since it's implied that he's not really black, just sporting blackface. That's true, he deserves way worse than a SmackDown.
So, is this guy really a Baron?
No, as a matter of fact, he's not even black.
Really? He looks like a black guy.
Why does that matter? Why do you have to bring race into it?
I didn't. I just
It's
asked
part
if
of
the
his
guy
title.
was a real Baron.
Fucking racist.
Alright, honorable mentions.
Akuma, Street Fighter. Being able to unlock him was hard enough. Actually beating him is the real challenge. Crow, Def Jam, Fight for New York. The time-honored tradition of street fighting games. Someone pulling out a gun and failing. Senator Armstrong, Metal Gear Rising. He is hard at first, but if you've been paying attention, it's only a matter of timing. The Sam version could go f*** itself, though. The Master, Paper Mario. Out of anyone, it's a Toad that ends up having stats to rival Bowser. He even goes Super Saiyan for the final fight. Yang, Shifu. If your opening gambit for this game was to use focus skills, prepare to be humbled. Chai, Shenmue. You don't get a lot of time to master the combat, but then you remember... oh wait, grabs and throws are broken. Mei Lin, Pokemon Gen 4. Came here expecting a standard fighting gem only to be blindsided by a frickin' Lucario! When it comes to big climactic showdowns, none can do them quite like the Metal Gear franchise. Every game has some huge final fight that's topped by the game after it. At least it was until Metal Gear Solid 4. Now, explaining the dense lore behind Metal Gear Solid 4's final fight will take forever. Like, I'd have to go over Big Boss, The Boss, Solid Snake, Liquid Snake, Solidus Snake, Norded Snake, Old Snake, Naked Snake, Ocelot, Revolver Ocelot, Liquid...
Here's what I can say first. Solid Snake and Liquid Snake are clone brothers. And then Phantom Snake is technically someone that was implanted with his memories.
Ocelot, the Patriots!
Lolly do they low. Lolly do they low.
Imagine how they're all connected and how it leads up to the final fight between Old Snake and Liquid Ocelot. Also, I made one of those up. I wonder if you noticed. All you really need to know is that Snake and Ocelot want to take down the Patriots, and they are both fighting to settle the legacy of Big Boss and their individual ideologies before they ultimately die in the near future. And this leads to the only fight between two old men that isn't super lame. After Liquid gives some more exposition, the two duke it out in a cutscene for a bit, trying to steal Liquid's stimulants to get back their energy. When the two finally put their last stimulants in each other, the fight begins. Similar to Kiryu's fight, this is in 4 stages, each representing a different clash and version of the two fighters from their shared history. Going from Solid Snake versus Liquid Snake from Metal Gear Solid 1 to Solid Snake versus Revolver Ocelot from Metal Gear Solid 2, even though they never actually fought in the game, to Naked Snake versus Ocelot from Metal Gear Solid 3, and finally ending with our final fight between Old Snake and Liquid Ocelot. A major theme from each game plays during their phase, including the wonderful Snake Eater.
What the? I'm sorry. The hell
will
was
change
that?
his fighting style depending on the game too. This all leads to the Metal Gear Solid 4 phase, where Snake and Ocelot will punch each other one at a time until the last person falls, which is Ocelot in this case. Snake comes up triumphant as he defeats his brother Psyche in his father's rival's body. Don't ask, it'll take too long. Snake vs. Ocelot.
No, I think I get it. His brother's mind is in what is technically his father's body. It's like some kind of possession shit.
It's just a really good final boss fight. While there are flashier fights on the list, shouldn't be understated how much this fight meant to people and how it influenced gaming as a whole. I'm Josh Scorcher, and next time the bosses may be a little transparent. Or maybe they were never there to begin with.
I'm gonna take a go. I meant to say, I'm gonna take a guess and say next would be the top 10 ghost bosses. But I kind of spoiled that by saying ghost already. Well, anyway, folks, that's going to be the end of today's video. I hope you all enjoyed this. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Link to the original will be in the description below. And remember to support the original creator and all they do. And I'll see you folks next time when we flick on. Peace out.